Hello and welcome to another Modurol video. This is MT36 in our series of XK8 videos detailing how we converted our automatic XK8, which is over there in the garage, just here, to manual using this ZF gearbox from an S-type diesel. Now in the previous video we looked at the theories and the calculations about pedal travel and clutch release. But in this video we're going to actually test those theories out practically and see how much fluid, how much pedal travel I need to disengage the clutch. So I'm going to do that by mocking up the clutch which I've got here into the bell housing, restraining it with a bit of angle iron, and then pressing the clutch in and testing the final drive's release. And I'm hoping to measure the piston travel. If I quickly run through the components then, so we've got our McLeod clutch mounted to the flywheel, and we've got the drive plate. The master cylinder has been bled, as I showed you in the previous video. We've pushed that all the way back. And the pedal box I've got set up for the purpose of this trial. I'm using the 3/4 inch cylinder. This is the 1.4 inch travel version. And I'm using the 2-inch link. That distance is 2 inch, and the approximate pedal length is just under 12 inches. So this is our 5.7 to 1 or 6 to 1 pedal ratio setup. So I've put the clutch together with the alignment tool into, I don't know if you can see there, the thrust bearing, and it's pretty free, so we're happy with that. So then what I'm going to do is going to pick that up and basically mount it on the input shaft. This is actually really heavy, so I'm going to try and mount that on. I've got it on the bearing, just got to slide it forwards. There you go. We're on. Now you can actually measure here, measurement from the bell housing to this side of the drive plate is about 21 millimeters. Obviously it alters depending on how far accentuated this wobble is. But Glenn had 21 millimeters too, so I think we're somewhere near. I don't know if you can see that. Slightly, a bit of a wobble on there. But when there is play, so I'm hoping when it's supported by the engine, that'll come out. The drive plate is flat, at least against the concrete floor. There's no rock in that, so there is no problem with the drive plate. With the drive plate on, it actually looks worse. There's definitely a wobble in there. I'm not sure if that's a concern. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I've got this bit of angle iron and some bolts. And I'm basically going to bolt the angle iron in front of the bell housing. And that will stop the clutch and flywheel being pushed out of the barrel housing, and we should be able to see the clutch disengage. I've already done it hand tight, but it's pretty solid. So the idea now we've locked the front of the drive plate, the flywheel and the clutch into the front of the bell housing. When I depress the clutch, we should be able to feel the final drive become loose, particularly in 6th gear. So we'll just find 6th gear. So now if we depress the clutch, we should be able to measure the travel here it takes to get full disengagement. And in theory, it's just short of 1.4 inches. Okay, right. It's going to be a bit tricky, so I've got the gear lever here. Pick a gear, so we'll go for 6th gear. Depress the clutch. I'm looking for the point at which the final drive comes loose. It's not coming loose. Oh, it won't do. So the first hit, because I've pushed the bearing all the way back, is then it's taken up the gap for wear. So in theory, the second press, it should disengage the clutch. There you go. So now the trick is, try another gear. Yeah, it's not moving that end, I can't see, but I don't think it's moving that end. So what my idea now is I'm going to put a mark here on the cylinder, a black mark, and then we're going to depress the pedal and see how far that mark moves. Sorry, you can't see the drive, so okay. Okay, it's just come loose. It's just come loose now. So if we put a mark there, that is roughly the distance to disengage the clutch. Let's try again. It's not having it. Oh, there you go. No, it's locked up there. No, it's actually there. It's a bit tricky, but basically, and there. It's very rough, but you get the idea. It's definitely, I can hear it. It's definitely loose then. So it's somewhere in that region here. Okay, so if we measure that pedal travel, I'm roughly getting to, it's about 24.5 millimeters, which is, based on our hydraulic ratio, is about 9 millimeter to release the clutch at the slave. But more importantly for us is actually the pedal travel. We were working out distances, but now it's more practical to work out an angle. So with my trick phone, we can actually work out the angle. Just roughly, I'll zero that there. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to depress the clutch to the point of the clutch release mark and see what angle I'm getting. There, 28 degrees pedal movement to clutch release. Now what I can do, we can have a look in the car, see if I've got 28 degrees of pedal. So I'm at the pedals now. I've actually fitted the pedal box, the exact same one as we're testing. I'm going to try and do the same thing with one pair of hands and film it as well, which is going to be tricky, I think. With two hands. Right, that's zero. Oh. Yeah. All right, I pushed that right into the base of the carpet. What have I got? 30 degrees. That's into the 31 into the base of the carpet. Come all the way up. I'm trying to keep it level on those two screws. There you go. Let's try that again. Okay, have I got it level on the two screws? 31 degrees into the carpet. I think it's fair to say. Okay then, so let's summarise. So what do we find out? So in order to get full clutch release, we need roughly 24 millimeters of travel of the master cylinder, which equates to, I think it's roughly 9 millimeter at the slave, which is considerably different to the 12.7 or ½ inch that we were told. So the actual amount of pedal movement, rotation, is roughly 27 degrees, and I've actually got 31 available in the car, which is about 87%. So it's all looking quite good. I'm going to put that into AI and we'll double check everything. Feedback from AI. So having assumed the cylinder stroke to release the clutch was 12.7 millimeters or ½ inch at the slave, and that was actually wrong, we asked AI, Google Gemini, to recalculate and adjust its findings based on these new results. So it came up with this table. So it changed a little bit. Option A was good, B poor, C poor, and D excellent. So it's still recommending D. The conclusion then, obviously the new cylinder travel adjusts all the requirements. It gives option B overly long for a GT car, C unacceptably stiff, and D recommended for a GT car, which is essentially a light pedal effort with a shorter stroke. So this is what it's recommending. So as a 7/8 cylinder, 1.1 inch travel with our standard S-type slave cylinder using a 2-inch link pedal box with a pedal ratio of 5.7 to 1 or 6 to 1 practically. Now, I wanted to double check this because obviously everybody previously said we were going to be okay with a 3/4 inch cylinder. So I asked it to compare the two scenarios, option 1 being a 3/4 inch cylinder compared to the option 2, a 7/8 cylinder. And it came up with this concise summary. So basically it's saying that the 7/8 cylinder is still better, mainly because of the longer throw of the pedal. So with the 3/4 inch cylinder, that gives us better pedal modulation or finer control, but the 7/8 in theory gives maximum reliability. It's more refined with that short stroke feel, but I think that might be too short. So its recommendation is still to go with the 7/8 cylinder. However, the 3/4 inch cylinder is also applicable. It's also acceptable. So what we're thinking of doing is going ahead with a 3/4 inch cylinder and possibly changing to the 7/8 later if we find that's an issue. But basically the clutch pedal box is going to work. Thank you very much for watching. Please like, comment, share and subscribe for more Modurol videos. Cheers. Bye-bye.